I was born in Sibiu in Hermannstadt, and my father was a preacher, a priest. He got his first job in a small village in Banat. So we moved to Banat, and there we spent like 7 years. So I grew up in a vicary with a big garden and a church in front of the house. So it feels really a little bit to be like home here. We moved to Germany in 1985, and at that time I was 8 years old. It was very challenging to lose your home at that age, especially because I felt very connected to Romania, to Transylvania and Banat. And it was very hard for any child, it would be any hard to cope in a new environment. And when I first came back to Romania as a grown-up, then I really had a lot of questions like, why are all the Saxons gone? Why did my parents go? And why did they leave all behind, you know? And that was like the impulse for my first novel, to write about a family who moved to Germany from Transylvania. I have a muse. I found a muse here. It's a cat. I think she likes me because in the morning I give her butter. So we are butter buddies. Her name is Flöckchen. It's, you know, like a snowflake, something very light and something very silent. So all perfect to write, you know. When you write, you have to be still and patient and yes. So to have a cat in front of you at the table, you know, all presence, all consciousness, all silence, it's perfect, you know. It's really perfect. I should stay here. It would be good for my new book. In a way, writing is always about the question who we are, you know, as mankind, but especially who I am, so in a way. So who am I? And who can I be in a way? What kind of changes are possible, you know, because it would be wrong to say I'm this and I should stay this my whole life. Life is a lot about, you know, changes and yes, to feel yourself, to make yourself home at any place. I think maybe when you lost your heritage or the first place where you felt home, then you are in a way constantly in a search of a new place. And I think it's a good thing in a way. And especially in Transylvania, it's very interesting that people with different languages and religions, you know, and they lived together over hundreds of years. So it's, I think, for all Europeans, important questions. For me, it's an opportunity to collect stories, you know, because when you are a writer, of course, you imagine a lot of things, but it's very important what people tell you about their lives, because in a way, you just you take stories of all kinds of people, you know, when they trust you and they tell you about their lives. And I collected so many stories in 3 days here, because people open up in a way when you live together like this in 1 week. They really show you who they are and what they experienced in their life and their challenges and things like that. So I make a lot of notes in this week. It's a big risk to tell your story to someone who writes, because there is a slight chance that your story will be part of a fictional character in a way, you know, because my figures, they develop when I write about them, but details and little stories, you know, I collect them from others, from books, from documentaries, from things I overhear when I travel in a train, you know. You always collect stories in a way. So I hope that the next book will be again a world that is filled with authentic details. Although it's a novel, so it's fiction, so it's not true. In a way, it's not true. But you have to write it as if it's true. That's the challenge. So when I'm here, I collect everything, you know, like how is the light, the smell, the architecture, the nature, the sounds, and types of people who, how do they act, how do they respond, you know, what's the difference to Germany, if there is a difference.
Samuel lag ausgestreckt auf dem Boden neben einem Jungschaf. Wir müssen gehen. Da er sich nicht rührte, nahm sie ihn hoch. Eine Bewegung ging durch die Herde. Samuel und Florentine hoben den Blick. Es gab das Grau des Himmels, den Fluss und die Weiden, die weite Ebene und die Einsamkeit. Es gab den Rand und die Mitte, das Ja und das Nein, die Ungewissheit. Und doch, dachte Florentine, lässt dich diese Landschaft, wie du bist. Schneeflocken lösten sich aus dem Grau, sie fielen lautlos auf Florentines Mantel, setzten perlende Tropfen auf Samuels Gesicht und er sagte ein Wort mit 2 Stumpfen und einem klingenden A, so laut und deutlich, dass der Wind es nicht fortnehmen konnte. Sepade.